Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another journaling on a budget video. Today I'm going to show you how I make book plates to put on the front of my books. And what you're going to need is some scissors, some paint, and some fun foam. So basically what I do is, a book plate has the opening in the middle to so that you can put like a label or something underneath of it. So usually what I do first is I cut my opening, what I think is going to be my opening in my fun foam. Now I just fold it in half so that my book plate is symmetrical. So now that's what my opening is going to look like. And then I just cut a shape around it. Now you can do these any different way. I'm going to for this one, I'm just going to start with a little bit of a point and come down. That's going to put a point at the bottom or the top of my book plate. And then maybe giving it a few zigzags, then maybe let's take it out to a point there also. Now, the question is, do I want it to be exactly the same on the top and the bottom? If I did, I would stop right here, open this up, and fold it in half this way. And then I would just trace around this and cut it out, and that way it would be the same top and bottom. I think I'm going to let my top and bottom be different, so I'm going to make sure I line this back up again. There we go. And for the top, I've got a little bump here that I want to get off. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to have a little bit of a point on the side also. And then I'm going to come up and go around. I'm just going to make the top kind of wavy. And I'm going to make it point down a little bit at the top. So this is my book plate. Now, that could be the top, or I could turn it this way, and this could be the top. I could look at it and say, I don't know if I like that really well. My top's a little skinny compared to my bottom. So then I can just cut another one. I can go ahead and I can kind of change my bottom up a little bit. Let's do this. Let's fold it in half. Because I really didn't like that point with that top. So I'm just going to kind of fold it in half, and then I'm going to use a pen. And I have to find one. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of draw around this a little bit so that my top and my bottom are kind of the same. They don't have to be exactly the same. And then I'm going to cut it out like that. Now to me, I can just tell even by looking at the way that this is looking even with just the drawing on it, I can tell I'm going to like that a lot better. And it's all personal preference. You do it however you think is going to make you happy. And there we go. And now I think this is a little larger than this, and I think that I would make the larger part my top. So that is one book plate. Now, I'm having a problem with this, which is why I normally do everything folded in half, so that I've got some symmetry there. That's much better. Okay, and then like other ones you could do a heart. Now you want it to be kind of wide because you're going to want to put a word or something in there. That's the whole point of having a book plate. So we'll just kind of make this a bit of a fat heart, kind of flat and wide. So that is what my opening is going to look like. And then I'm just going to go around it and try and kind of keep about the same distance. And now we have a heart book plate. Now they don't look that much like book plates right there because they're orange fun foam, but we're going to make them look like a book plate. So before we start painting, I'm going to punch out a little bit of this fun foam, and I'm going to try putting a piece of cardstock behind it, because when I punched them out last time, the fun foam kind of like stuck. It didn't give me a nice crisp. So I'm going to do, let's see, we've got, I'm going to do a couple extra for good measure because I lose them because they're so small. Oh, look at all the stuff we have in there. All right, there's our fun foam. We don't need the cardstock on it now. That was just so that my punch would go through without sticking. So if your punch just kind of wants to grab that fun foam and make a mess and not punch all the way through, try putting a piece of paper or cardstock behind it or around it. Let's see, I punched out 6 of them. There's the other one. Okay, so there we have our 6 little screws. Those are going to be the screws for our book plate. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take something flat, like the edge of my scissors. And because book plates are really kind of old, back in the olden days, screws were those straight. You can make it look like a Phillips screw if you want to. I'm just going to just press a straight line in there. Now, I don't like my scissors. Usually, I just kind of do it with my fingernail or just with my pen. And so that's going to put a dent in our screw, so when we paint it, it will look like it is a, I don't know what you call them. I know they're flathead screwdrivers, though. A flathead screw. And so that is how you're going to make your screws look like screws. And then what you're going to do is you're going to draw on your book plate if you want to. You don't have to. I like to give mine a little bit of decoration, but sometimes they're nice just flat. I'm trying not to stick my fingernail in here because it's making a dent in the fun foam, and then when you highlight it, you'll see that. We don't want to see that. So there we go. Those are going to be our screws. And then you can just go ahead and, just put some kind of a design on here. You don't have to do that. You can do that. You can do it any way that you want to. And now remember, you're doing this to make a bit of a dent. So don't draw lightly. Go ahead and give it a good press. Until you get the whole thing decorated the way that you want to have it decorated. Now, if your pen seems to run out of ink, that's okay because it's not the ink that you're going for. It's the dent. So, I don't know why my pens always seem to act like they've run out of ink, and most of the time they haven't. When I'm all done, if I put it on a piece of paper, it goes ahead and starts working again. It just must not like the fun foam very much. And this is not going to be the best because I'm kind of in a hurry. But you'll take your time and you'll do it how you want to do it. But I do want to have these dents in here so that you can kind of see how it looks with that. There. Okay, so now I've got that all done like that. And, you know, I'll do something here. Maybe I'll just put a straight line. And I apologize that my pen's not working so you can see it. But you'll see it when it gets highlighted. Maybe put some circles around here. Just trying to figure out something that's kind of quick. I'm going to make this one come up from the bottom. Just like that. And this is so that when we paint it, there's a little bit of texture in it. And then we can antique it or highlight it however we would like. There we go. Okay, so now we have those. And so what we're going to do is, I paint mine brown because I like brown. You can do them any color that you want to. I'm going to do mine brown with a gold highlight. And just because that's the way I like it. And we're going to use the gold glitter glue that we made a long time ago. I'm not exactly sure even when we made that, but now I need to figure out what I did with my brown paint. Oh, here it is. I'm just going to put some of that right on here. And then just paint these up. Now sometimes you might need 2 coats to cover up that color. Sometimes just one will work, depending on the color of your fun foam, the thickness of your paint. But you just do it up until you think that it looks good. And even though I made all those dents in there, I don't want those to show through orange. So I'm going to make sure that I do get my paint right down in those, in all of the marks that I made. And you're going to want to make sure that you go around the edge, because you don't really want that orange showing when you put it on your book. But these work really, really well, and you can make them look any way that you want them to look. And you know, you don't have the expense of buying them or trying to find them somewhere to buy them. And it's just so easy. And if you've done your fun foam in a color that you like the color of, you want it to show through, that works too. Oops, I forgot to make sure that I went around the inside edge of this one. I don't want to forget that. And I'm going to use one of these, and I'm working on a faith journal that is almost done. It's been almost done for quite a while, and then I just keep adding and adding and adding. But I think I am really getting to the point where I have to call it done. So I don't think I can add too much more. I think I have a few more things I want to add, but I am ready to put my book plate on the cover. And I'm not so sure which one I might use, because I kind of like the heart. I was thinking really I want the standard kind of oval color shape, but I kind of like the heart too. And these aren't just for journal covers. You can use them for other things too. You can even use them like on a shaker. And different things like that. I need a little bit more paint here. Got some on there. So yeah, and I use them on bags. I'll show you one I put on a bag. Oh, and that one, I didn't put any markings on at all. It's just flat, so you'll get to see what they look like with texture and without texture. So there we go. Just need to let that dry, and I need to do my little screws here. These are the hardest ones to do because they don't like to sit still. And the only thing you want to make sure, I usually just kind of paint both sides if they flip over, because it really doesn't matter. But just make sure that you get the side with your little screw line in it. Make sure that you do get that side painted. And then after I get them painted up good, I'm going to move them so they don't stick to my paper, because otherwise they'll want to stick. So I'll just move them over where there isn't any paint. Yep, see, that one's already stuck. Let's get that moved over there. That moved over there. And get a little more paint on this one. And there we go. So there's our screws, and there are our book plates. And then I do not dry these because Fun Foam can kind of melt. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to lift this off though, so it doesn't get totally stuck. There we go. And then this is our shimmer glue that we made. I believe it was in year 1. And this is just, I think this one is just gold mica powder and Elmer's glue. And possibly a teensy bit of water. I'm just going to mix it up good. And it's not this thick when you make it. It is this thick now because it's been 2 years. So sometimes these little containers have a pretty good seal. So the nice thing about that is that it seals up pretty good. And then I'm just going to take this and put this on here. And that's going to make it look more like metal, which usually the book plates are metal. Get a little bit more. I'm going to take it off my stick till it's gone off of there. I just kind of want to stick into my finger because that is very sticky glue. But it gives me the effect that I really wanted to have. And so that is what it looks like. So, and in the camera, it's showing the gold a little bit more than it's actually there. You know, you can see the brown, and because I didn't do it a lot, the a little bit of the orange is actually still showing through, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna, okay, now I've put way too much on this one, all in one spot. We'll see if we can spread that out, but that's okay. If that's how it turns out, then that's the way it was supposed to be. And then you can see the texture in there really nicely. And if you want to make sure that you don't get any of your rubbing into your texture, then always kind of rub off first so that it's very flat on your finger before you rub across something that you don't want to get in the grooves. If you've got a little bit of a glob of it on your finger, it's for sure going to go down in those grooves the first couple rubs across. I have a screw stuck to my finger. And this one is showing up quite orange, but that's how that one looks. So I just think that these are really fun, and I think that they really look nicely like metal. Now, I really should have put a better coat of the brown on there. So if you don't want your orange showing through, you're going to want to do that. But don't forget to get your screws done. because that's what really makes them look like a screw. And if you don't like the black showing through from your pen, you know, you can just use a dried up pen so that it just makes your dent, or you can use something else to make a dent. And then these, when you put them on your book, are going to go on here. And I'm going to put my screw lines straight with the side line there, except because everything is still wet, it's still sticking. I'll put that one on there. I picked it up and I didn't even pick it up. And then when you put your screws on, just kind of make sure that you put them in the same spot on each side. I don't like this one, it's too orange. And this one looks better. I can't get it to stop sticking. Okay. All right, well, you know what we're trying to do here. So that's kind of what it's going to look like after it dries, and I can actually put that screw down on there. There we go. And then with your heart, you do the same thing. You just choose where do you want to put your screws. You could put them at the top and the bottom. You can put them side and side. You can put them like maybe one here, and one at the point. You can do them however you think that you would like to do them. That might look kind of cute to put 3 on that one. Like that. And then they've got the little screws on there and they stick up. So that's what they look like with the texture. And like I said, I probably will even go back in here and put another coat of brown and then put the gold back on top of it, because I really don't like the orange that is showing through. But I did just want to show you how to make these and how to make the screws to go with them, because the screws, like, they really make a difference. They make it look like it really is a book plate. You know, otherwise, I mean, it still kind of looks like a book plate, but the screws just make the difference. So here's one that I did. This is a heart that I did. And this one I did not put texture on. I thought I did put texture on them, but this one I didn't. And see, it's got the little screws on there. And this one I put on a bag. And what I did was I just drew around the inside, and then I cut that heart out and glued this on there. And so now this little bag has this in here, but it can come out or it can go in. And so I just think that that's kind of a fun way to use them too. So you don't have to use them on books just because they are a book plate. But so that is how you make a book plate. I really do appreciate you stopping by. I really love these. And when I get my faith journal done here shortly, I will show it to you. I think I've been saying that for a while, but it'll be here soon. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you get some use out of it. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.